Hello, welcome back to Ruger Knits, where I talk about all things knitting. Today I just have a little catch-up vlog for you, so talking about finished objects, whips and acquisitions. Before we get into it though, I'll talk about what I'm wearing. This is my Friday slipover by Petite Knit, and this is knit in Sandnesgarn Sunday and Sandnesgarn Tin Silk Mohair, both in the shade dark chocolate held together. Let's get into it then. So for finished objects, this vlog, I was going to say this week, but I don't film these every week. I actually only have one finished object, and it is a self-drafted pattern. So these are called my squiggly bobble socks, and I am hoping to release a pattern for them, but I do want to reknit them in another yarn because, as you can see, this yarn is really busy and you can't actually see what's going on up here. So I've basically done like a mock cable kind of situation all around the cuff, with bobbles as well, but because of how busy the yarn is, you just can't really see it. So I have bought another yarn, but I'll talk about that in my acquisitions at the end of the video. So I am hoping to reknit these in a more plain yarn. So the yarn that I used for these, it was by Dye Candy. I don't think I have the label anywhere, but I'm pretty sure it was like a one of a kind batch one, so I don't think there was a name for it anyway. But yeah, it's just this really nice purple splotchy little yarn. So these were knit on 2.25mm needles. No need for a cable needle or anything to do the mock cables. It's just you just do it with like a normal needle. And I'm hoping to release this in 4 adult sizes, but I need to have a look at the mass because the stitch count for this part is a little bit complicated, and I've so far only knit it in my own size, which is like an 8-inch foot circumference. So I need to see if I can do it for like a 7-inch one, a 9-inch one, a 10-inch one. But yeah, these have been on the needles for absolutely ages, and then I just decided to blast through them and get them off the needles, and I have worn them once, so the bottoms are actually a little bit dirty, but I did block them and put them on a little pair of sock blockers. Another little bit to talk about the pattern is there's this super cute little picot edge up here, which I love. I think that looks so nice. So there's no like ribbing on the cuff or anything. It's just all stockinette with this little picot edge detail, this little detail for the cuff. What do you call this? Like a slip stitch heel, and then decreases for the heel, and then I saw Midsummer Knits refer to, I'm pretty sure it is this toe shaping as an anatomical toe in her new Tilton Socks pattern, which I'm going to join the cal for, but I haven't fully read the pattern yet. So I don't know if this is the same thing, but looking at her socks, it looks like the same shaping where you just do the decreases. You have your stitches split over 2 needles, and you do decreases at either side of the foot. So if they're spread across 2 needles, you're knit 1 stitch, do a decrease, knit to the end, do a decrease, go around to like your next needle, do a decrease, knit to the end, do a decrease, knit a row, and then you do the same thing again. So yeah, that's the only toe shaping. I have knit one other kind of toe shaping, but I really didn't like it, so that's the only one I ever really do until I discover a new one that I like better. So yeah, that is my only finished object for this video. So let's just move on to whips, which I have quite a lot of this video. Whips I'm going to do in order of most complete to least complete. So my most complete one is something I'm quite ashamed is still a whip, but it needs more work, and this is another self-draft. There will be actual patterned projects later on, but these first ones are a couple of things that I've just made up myself that I want to release patterns for. So this one is my Victoria cardigan, and I have mentioned it before. Let me just maybe slip it on. Apologies if it makes my mic sound funny, but you gotta see it. You have to see it. You've got to understand the vision. And it would probably look a lot better without a sweater vest on underneath because it's very what's the word? There's like not very much ease to it at all. Yes, it looks awful with a sweater vest underneath. But this is my Victoria cardigan. So we have a turtleneck situation or funnel neck. No, I want to call it turtleneck. Turtleneck situation going on up here. Raglan increases, splitting off for 2 sleeves, which have different ends. So this is like one of the things that I have to fix. Originally I did this sleeve first and did ribbing at the end, which I really don't like. Let me stand up and show. I just think it really brings down like the whole look of the pattern by just this little bit of ribbing. So I want to get rid of that and do this instead for the sleeve. This is a picot edge. It also needs redone though, because with the socks, what we're doing is you cast on like, you cast on the stitches, you knit for like 10 rows, you do the picot edge row, knit for another 10 rows and knit it down. So you're knitting it down with the cast on row. So it's really clear. As long as you knit the same amount of rows before and after the picot row, you can't fuck it up. You can't pick up the incorrect like row of stitches, you know, because it's going to be the very first row of stitches to your piece. But for this one, because you're like, you pick up your stitches up here for the raglan whenever you go back to do your sleeve, you knit all the way down, knit, picot row, knit however long you want this kind of double folded part to be. Then you go back and fold it down and pick up stitches on the inside, and it's really easy to go like off the row, like especially because it is purl bumps you're picking up on the inside. I don't know if you can see because it's going to be so dark. You can kind of see you're picking up purl bumps, so it's really easy to accidentally pick up like a row underneath or above where you've decided you're going to pick up. And then yeah, it's done this weird like ballooning thing here, like it's too thick, so I need to redo that. I also need to buy buttons for it because at the minute I just have all these stitch markers to show where my buttonholes are. This will look way better if I'm not wearing a sweater vest, but I can't be bothered taking it off. Oh, the body looks fabulous right now. Yeah, it's going to be very fitted like this. Very fitted. I want to wear it buttoned up all the time. I'm roasting right now. And then what I want to do is do a little bit of lace up at the collar edge, maybe also at the sleeve edge, but I haven't decided yet. I might do that as like an optional thing you could do for the pattern. But yeah, a little bit of lace, a little lace motif in white sticking up. Going to be so cute, but I've been busy with other projects, so I haven't even picked this one up. Ugh, I need to get it finished. It looks so strange. It looks like it doesn't fit me very well at all, but I promise you it does if you're not wearing a sweater vest underneath it as well. But I need to take this off. I am roasting. It's been so long, I can't even remember what size needles I used, but I have all my notes here. I had to rip them out because I needed my notebook for work. Okay, so what I have used for this pattern is a 3mm needle for the ribbing up at the neck, up here, and everything else was a 3.5mm needle. So I have done ribbing at the bottom of the body, but I didn't want it to cinch in a lot, so I didn't change the needle size. So yeah, 3.5 and 3mm needle. And the yarn that I am using is Peer Gynt, Samnisgarn Peer Gynt, or Peer Gynt. I feel like I pronounce it differently every time. I think I said it earlier in the video as well. God knows what way I pronounced it. And this color here is the color 1088. So obviously I still need to like finish my sample and size grade it and everything and write the pattern, because at the minute it's just on these pieces of paper. But yeah, I've like kind of lost a lot of motivation for this one because I've made a few mistakes, which I'm pretty sure I've mentioned before in my video, or it might have been on TikTok, on my YouTube, or my TikTok. But I made a mistake at the very beginning where I did not cast on the right amount of stitches, which made the button bands, I should have done, I think, one more stitch, because the button band, you're doing ribbing at the very start and having the button bands just at the edges of the ribbing, so it actually doesn't look any different than the rest of the ribbing. And then for the body, you're doing stockinette stitch and then ribbing for the button bands, but you know the way the button bands like overlap, on one side of the cardigan it is 6 stitches, which is what I wanted, and the other side it is 5 stitches, and that is because you're going straight from knitting to the first stitch in your button band being a knit stitch, so it reduces the ribbed part by 5 stitches. I'll show you what I mean if you're not following, because I think I explained that a little bit weird. So yeah, ribbing, button band is at the end here. You cannot tell the difference between the button band and the ribbing on the neck. Obviously for the body you can, because it is ribbing. I can't remember which side it was, had 5. I think it was the side with the buttonholes, so that is actually the side that will be on the front of the piece. The other part with 6 stitches in the button band will be the part that goes like underneath. So yeah, really annoying. So I'm very unmotivated, and part of me, to be honest, wouldn't mind just like ripping the whole thing back and completely redoing it again, but I just, yeah, especially if I want to knit a pattern for this, or write a pattern, sorry, if I want this to be like the one I take photos of, it's going to annoy me, the fact that the button bands have uneven number of stitches. I don't know. I don't know if that's just like a thing that would only wind me up, especially because I just kept going. I knit the whole thing. Should I just rip it all back? I don't know. This was about 9 balls of Peer Gynt, so a lot of knitting to be done. I don't know. Depends how badly I want to release this pattern, maybe. Anyway, that's enough talking about that. So yes, this is my Victoria cardigan. My next whip then is the Coming Soon sweater by Suzanne Mueller, or Polish Strict. My mic might have been disconnected there. Apologies if the audio is different. Yes, I got these Chalgu needles for Christmas, and I think this was the first pattern or project that I casted on with my Chalgu needles. So I'm knitting these. I did go down a needle size. I think the recommended needle size for the body is a 4mm needle, and then 3.5 for the little bits of ribbing. Like, it's all ribbing, but the like normal ribbing, like the cinched in ribbing, I think is 3.5, but for me I did the body on 3.5mm needles. Okay, my microphone has died at some point and I can't tell when, so I'm just going to go without it anyway. Let me flatten this back down. Yeah, so 3.5mm needles for the body, 2.5 for the ribbing up at the neck and at the end of the sleeves. And I'm pretty sure there's ribbing to be done at the end of the body, which I'll do 2.5 as well. The yarn that I'm using, this is one of the recommended yarns. I think there's a couple of yarns they recommend. So this one here is Durarium Natura Ulysse in the colour Pois Vaisselle, which is this really nice like French yarn. What is it? It's just 100% wool, which I recently learned. You know the magazine, I don't know if it's called Lane or I've heard somebody pronounce it as Lina. That's French for wool, which is really cool. Because it's French, I want to say like line or I don't know. Yeah, 100% wool. Not itchy as far as I can tell. Let me put it on my neck. Maybe the tiniest bit itchy, but I haven't blocked it yet, obviously, so I wonder will that help with any itchiness. So yes, this pattern uses, I'm dropping my active little ball of wool, it is a half brioche stitch, which, let me try and show you what you do. You do 1 row with like yarn overs on every other stitch. So you just do a knit. Let me see. You just do a normal knit stitch and then you do a yarn over. I can't remember now. Oh my god, and I can't even practice it because I'm not on the right row to do it. Yes, I think you do a knit stitch and then you do a yarn over with your purl stitch. Do you slip the purl stitch and not actually purl it? Yeah, I think so. I think that's right. And then on the next row, you're just doing knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl. And it gives you this lovely, really like cushy ribbing. Like, I wish you could feel this. It is so just cushy. I don't know how else. And like springy, that's a good way to describe it. So this is, I've heard this referred to as the curly side. And then the other side, which I think if you are not knitting this pattern and you're doing half brioche, this would be the right side, where the knit stitches are very prominent, and a lot thinner than on the other side. But yeah, I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. So I've obviously gone back and done the collar and the 2 sleeves, because you do those after, but I wanted to try it on and see how we were looking. And I think we're looking good. It will grow a bit, so this is actually going to be bigger than it is right now. In terms of length then, without trying it on, I'm about here, so I do have a little bit more to go. It does knit up very slowly. I think it's because of the half brioche. I feel like for every 2 rows you're knitting, you're getting about the length of like one normal like ribbed row or stockinette row. So yeah, definitely knits up very slowly, but yeah, this is the second time I've knit this pattern. I knit it for my husband once before and I loved it so much that I decided that I wanted one, so that's that. My next whip then is a pair of socks. I love these. If you follow me on TikTok, you have seen a completely different iteration of these. Basically, I'm vaguely following Summer Lee's, what is it called? Stripes recipe #1, Happy and Scrappy, which is from her first sock project book, which is called The Sock Project. Here's like the page, I don't want to give away too much. But yeah, basically I had knit a little, I was like using like maybe like 7 different yarns because I wanted to do a scrappy sock project. So I had used some of the yarns that I have right now, and also just thrown in a couple of other yarns that just really didn't work and I really didn't like it, so I ended up just completely ripping it all back and casting it on brand new again. I'm actually practicing continental knitting with these, which is going really well so far on these. Very awkward. I switched back to English style for like doing the heel, this thing, the flap. And I found it really hard to do continental for the toe as well, but I'm like forcing myself to do it because I really want to learn how to do it, because I have absolutely flown through these, and I don't know if it's because of the continental knitting style or if it's because of the stripes or both, but yes, I've absolutely flown through these, so I want to continue practicing it. I have my second sock here it is. So yes, I'm knitting these on an 8-inch foot circumference, which is size medium according to Summer Lee's patterns. The yarns that I'm using then, let me grab them. I'm missing a lot of labels. This one is, oh my god, this one was attached to the project. This one is Cascade Heritage. I'm pretty sure it's called, in the colour white, and that is obviously kind of the main colour throughout the socks you're seeing. It's the one I'm using for the cuff, the heel and the toe, and then the one in between every single stripe. Oh, I've just realised all of the colours are from Northern Irish Indie Dyers. That's cool of me, okay. I'm gonna have to mention that whenever I post these on Instagram. So the little purple stripe, let me hold these up again. The purple bit here is the same yarn as I mentioned for my squiggly bobble socks. And this is by Dye Candy. The pink one is also by Dye Candy. Oh, I have the label here. Okay, can confirm this is definitely a one-of-a-kind batch then, because I did have a Dye Candy label sitting there, but I wasn't sure if it was for this or this. This is 100% one-of-a-kind batch, so I don't know the name. There was a name on the website, but it's probably not there anymore. The pink one then is another Dye Candy one, and I know this is a one-of-a-kind batch as well. No, it's not. I'm lying to you. This one is called Cherry Bomb, and both of these are called Super Sock, I want to say, by Dye Candy. So 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. There we go, which is my favourite combo. It's quite a common one, but I feel like these really do hold up really well. So 2 die candy ones, one for Kind Cherry Bomb, and then the blue one is by Irish Artisan Yarns. Can't find the label. But this is a sock one. I want to say there is silk in this, and I want to say bamboo, but I can't remember. And this one is called Brompton Bay, or maybe just Brompton, or Brompton Beach or something like that. Brompton something. But yeah, I just feel like these colours are working so well together. It's so girly. You can see where I've changed colours. So I'll show this side. It's the nicer looking side. Yeah, it's giving like Powerpuff Girls. I know one of the Powerpuff Girls is green, but yeah. What colour are the Powerpuff Girls? Pink, blue and green. Yeah, instead of green I've got purple, but yeah, it's just reminded me of Powerpuff Girls or something. But oh, I can't wait to wear these. I think these are so cute. I can't remember if I said as well, needle size. Every time I knit socks I'm using a 2.25mm needle. That's what I've always knit for socks. I think I've maybe knit one pair of socks on a slightly larger needle size, but that's my go-to, is the 2.25. They have got 2x1 ribbing up at the cuff. You're knitting all these stripes, and I'll show you the inside in a little minute. And then this is where I was like, oh, I'm vaguely following the pattern, because I just have this like set sock pattern in my head, which is the same one that I use for my Oh My Guinness socks, where it is the slip stitch heel flap, and then your gusset decreases, you do your heel turn and your gusset decreases after, and then this here toe, this whatever it's called, anatomical toe, whatever. I don't actually know if that is what is in the pattern. Actually, now that I think of it, I'm pretty sure it's an afterthought heel rather than a slip stitch heel, but I don't like an afterthought heel. It doesn't fit very well on my foot, so that is why I did a slip stitch heel. Yeah, I just think these are so cute, nice and light for the lighter days. Can't wait to wear these. And to be honest, where am I on my second sock? I am on the white stripe after the first pink stripe on the foot. So I only have this much more to go. I could probably do this in like one day. It is Paddy's Day today though, so I'm definitely not going to do very much knitting today. Yes, the inside. So what you do with these whenever you do the stripes is you, like 9 stitches I think it is before the end of the row, when you're about to change colours, you just catch the float basically. So it looks really hectic, but I think at the end all I do is I go and just like tighten all these it's hard to grab it, all these bits. Also, I don't know if you can see it, I just tighten those, and then I think I just snip the ends and that's it, so I don't have to weave in a million ends. Looks much nicer on that side. Yes, I don't have to weave in a million ends. There was a couple of times where I forgot to catch it, so I do just have like a super long tail that I know I need to weave in, because nothing is like holding this down. Yeah, it'll make for like a much easier way to finish the sock than if I was weaving in all of those like 40 ends or whatever that's going to be. So yeah, that's that one. I probably will finish this one this week, so I'm buzzing for it. Ooh! My next whip then, and I'm pretty sure this is my last whip, is another pair of socks. So I have done one sock, and I was looking for the second one, but I haven't casted it on yet. Yes, I've done one sock and I'm going to cast on the second one. So these, let me double check the pattern name. These are the Broken Record Broken Rib socks by Alex Parker Mooney. If you're keen for any of the released patterns, as in not the ones I'm looking up and not that one in Summer Lee's book, I'm going to put the patterns in the description below, so if you, with a link to them as well, so if you're keen to knit this one, the patterns in the description. Again, followed the pattern for I think the cuff and just the overall like leg pattern for the ribbing, and then I just kind of like was winging it for the rest of it, because I know what kind of heel, what kind of toe I like to do. and I'm not sure if it's the same as what's in the pattern. But anyway, I'll talk about what I did and my yarns. So I'm again knitting these in 2.25mm needles, and this time I am just doing English style knitting because it's ribbing. I haven't been practicing continental, although I did just like last night learn how to do a continental purl, which is crazy and really hurts my hands, but it's probably something I just need to get used to. The yarns that I am using then, so the main, oh I'm dropping them, the main colour here is this yarn, this big massive cake of yarn. This is, I'm looking at the wrong label, Townhouse Yarns, and it's Fade Street 4-ply, I think what the yarn like base is called, which is 75% superwash, 70% superwash merino, 30% silk, and the shade is Briar. And then the contrast toe, heel and cuff, sorry I'm holding too much stuff here, is Symphony Yarns Terra in the colour Valentine. And do you know what, Symphony Yarns Terra, I love these for being like a, not a hand dyed one, but like a, what's the word, it's produced on a much larger basis than like a hand dyed yarn. I love these, they're so soft and squishy. Oh, love it. Anyway, the pattern then, it's broken rib, so you're doing every other row, you're just knitting it, and then the rows in between, you're knit, 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 purl, knit, 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 purl. And I have been knitting these have been my work socks, I've been calling them, so I've been bringing them to work, knitting them on the bus and knitting them at lunchtime, so that's why I want to cast on. I'm off work today for Paddy's Day, and then I'm back in 2 days into the office, so I want to cast on my second sock and do the cuff so I can just knit the leg like flat out on the bus or whatever. Yeah, so these ones, I have knit these once before. I did them with, I don't even know what yarn it was. I don't think I have any of that yarn left over, but it feels like a really cottony yarn, so I don't like it. The socks feel baggy or something, so I thought let me just re-knit this in like a proper sock yarn to see if that makes any difference. So yeah, these ones very dark and moody, very contrasting compared to my last pair of socks I was showing, but yeah, these are the perfect little pattern for knitting in work because I don't need to read anything. I can just remember, okay, it's just like 3 knits and a purl. And then for the foot, you are not doing ribbing on the bottom. I feel like that would really annoy your foot if you could feel the ribbing while you were walking. It is just stockinette. Yeah, very dark and moody, kind of matches my outfit today, a green for Paddy's Day outfit, but obviously I've only got one sock, so I can't wear them today. I'm trying to work out what the cuff, I think it's just 1x1 ribbing on the cuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. I so rarely do 1x1 ribbing. I'm like, is it? I'm pretty sure it's 1x1 ribbing on the cuff. Same again, slip stitch, heel flap, heel turn, gusset decreases. For this one though, do you know what? I usually do try and stick to picking up a specific amount of stitches along the side of the heel flap. Usually that is 14 stitches, but for this one I was just like, oh, do you know what? I'm just going to pick up 1 stitch for every stitch that I see on the side, because I did accidentally knit the heel flap a little too long. And I think I ended up with 18 stitches picked up on either side of the heel flap. And I haven't tried these on to see if they are too big. Obviously, I said earlier, my concern with the last time I knit these was they were too baggy. So hopefully this is okay. Okay, they fit like a dream. Happy days. I was very worried that that was going to be too many stitches, but it feels absolutely fine. Doesn't feel too tight or too loose, so okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I accidentally just knit the heel flap too long, so that's what I did, and I'm glad it paid off, but I felt like I was doing decreases for years. Yeah, there we are. Yes, and then just normal toe as per usual, and topical toe or whatever that's called. That's what this has again. So that was the end of all of my whips and all of my projects at the minute. So I think I'll just talk about a couple of acquisitions and then maybe some plans that I've got for the future as well. So the first acquisition I have here is this little sock yarn. So this is called Socks Yeah by Co-op Knits. It is 75% fine superwash merino wool and 25% nylon. The colour is 119 Larimar. And I went to Hank's Yarn Parlour, which is a yarn shop in Belfast, and bought this one. So this is the yarn that I'm planning to knit for my squiggly bubble socks. This right here. Slight, what do you call that? Like variegation or like tonal. It's not just like 100% one shade of blue. There is lighter and darker parts through this. So I'm hoping it's not so much like colour difference that it's going to be hard to see this pattern again. But you know what? I can cast it on. I can knit to here in the pattern. And if it's looking too busy again, then I'll just know, like, I just need to get like a white yarn or something like that. But this is what I'm planning on re-knitting this pattern in. And the other acquisition I have is I went and bought another Chalgoo needle. So I do have the kit. It's the twist kit, and I think it's like the full set of them. So there's like all needle sizes from like 2.75 I want to say all the way up to like, I don't know, quite a chunky size. But the majority of the time I am knitting on smaller needles, and I was missing a 3mm needle out of the set, so they are attached to a cable that came with the kit. But I did just go and buy a pair of 3mm needles that I could just add into my set. These were a tenner, 10 Great British pounds, which I was like, oh my god, for like one thing that doesn't even have a cable with it, but worth it, because I have been gauge swatching. If I can find it, hold on, I put it somewhere. Not gauge swatching, sorry, but just sample swatching again in, oh, I've done something a bit funny here. I think it's just per attention. In Continental knitting, I have been doing a little sample swatch for a jumper that I want to cast on. So this yarn here is Cardiff Cashmere Classic, my favourite. Oh, it's so soft. I can't wait to properly start doing this jumper. The colour of this one then is 519. Can't remember what that is called because there's obviously like a word for it as well. But yeah, Cardiff Cashmere Classic 519. It is just like a plain black yarn. A couple of their yarns were a little bit leaning towards like blue or like kind of grey and stuff, but this is the closest thing to just plain black I could see. So yeah, basically I'm just going to do a really plain negative ease, maybe not negative ease, maybe zero ease, I'm not sure, jumper, just in cashmere. And I was just practicing, I think I want to do like increases around the collar, so I've been practicing that. Really hard to see in this tiny little thin little yarn with these tiny little needles, and in black as well. But yeah, oh, I'm dropping my needles. So I have been gauge swatching this on a 3mm needle, and yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll release a pattern for this as well, but I'm very excited for this. But I need to have a word with myself, and I need to finish my coming soon sweater, and I need to do something to my Victoria cardigan as well before I start doing another jumper. I haven't blocked this swatch yet. I have just cast it off yesterday, so I do need to block it. So we'll see. But yeah, I like the you can see like with the light coming through there. I like the, I don't know how you say it, like the tension that these needles are giving me. And yeah, I just need to keep practicing with it with Continental, because it is it is quite difficult, especially purling. Oh my god, my tension's gonna be off for any knitting flat parts where I have to purl, because that purl is so difficult. I'm pretty sure I'm doing a Norwegian purl, which is what everybody's like, oh my god, it's so good, but it's still very hard. So some of my plans then, I mentioned earlier in the video, Midsummer Knits has released her Chilton socks, which were in my last video too, but the pattern wasn't released when I filmed it, and then it got released as I was editing it. So she has released the pattern, I've bought it, and I am waiting for the knit along to start. So I think it's like end of March or something it's going to start. I had gone to Hank's Yarn Parlour, that's where I got that blue yarn to do the socks, and I was hoping to get like just another like plain white or cream yarn and mohair to go with it to knit these socks, but there wasn't anything, there wasn't like too many cream or white sock yarns that I could see, or any that I could see, so I'm gonna have to order that online, which I've actually forgotten about until right now, so I should probably get on that and order that so I can start the cal on time. So that is in my plans, and I cannot wait to knit those because I have the cutest little pair of shoes that would look so cute with those socks. So yeah, I'm really buzzing for that. Couple more plans then. I'm still really enjoying making up my own patterns, so I want to do something with this swatch. I want to knit myself a gorgeous little, very plain but still very chic black cashmere jumper. So that is a plan that I will probably start working on fairly soon. I have everything for it. I have a big box of this here yarn and I have the needles now, so I could probably start that quite soon. But I have to display self-restraint and not cast on something new. Another of my own patterns without finishing one of these bloody jumper patterns I've got, or the cardigan. Other plans then, I really like doing the scrappy sock project, so I am very keen to do a scrappy blanket project, and I am gonna follow in Natasha Crawford's footsteps and copy. She was doing like a scrap blanket project with I think it's called the excavation blanket as the pattern that she was basing hers on, and I feel like I'm going to do that as well. I just can't imagine what length of cable do you need on your needles to do that. Will it get like really long and really heavy? I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's a free pattern, so I could just download it and read it and see what it says, but I haven't done that yet because I know I'm not going to start knitting a blanket yet. Maybe in a couple of months, but right now, no, it's just something that's like in my head. Another plan that I have is I have like two kind of like summer tops in my head, although one of them, maybe you wouldn't count it as a summer top, maybe it could just be like a year-round top, but I have two ideas for summer tops in my head, so I want to cast on one of them, that I want to get like a nice fingering weight yarn, like a linen yarn maybe, something like that, and cast that on and start working away at it, because I would love to release that as a pattern. In my head it looks amazing, but yeah, I just need to get the yarn for it and play around with it, because there's going to be frills, there's going to be layers, there's going to be straps, there's going to be a lot to it, so I need to work out how I'm going to do this. So those are all my plans. I really don't have tons in terms of, oh, I want to knit this specific project, I want to do this, I want to do that. The only other thing I do have in my head is knitting my husband a Moby sweater by Petite Knit, because I knit one for my brother for his 30th, I knit one for myself. My mom has knit her fiance one, so I feel like I should give my husband one, and he's going to be 30 in September, so that's another little plan that I have, and I want to get a nice grey heather yarn for that, but that again, he is 30 in September, so I'll maybe buy the yarn in like April or May. Let me finish a jumper first. Anyway, yeah, that was it for all my plans. That was it for all my projects, and that's it for the video. So thank you so much for watching to the end. Hopefully you were entertained or inspired or something by something that I've talked about, or hopefully you learned something, I don't know. Yeah, if you're interested in any of those patterns that are available online, they will be in the bio below, and if they're not in the bio, then they're not available online. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'd really appreciate it if you followed me on TikTok, Instagram, or if you added me as a friend on Ravelry. And again, all those links will be below. Instagram and Ravelry are Rigger Knits, which is the same as this channel, but TikTok, I think it's like Claire Joy with an underdash or something. I can't remember. It definitely started as not like a knitting account, it was just like my own account, but anyway, the link is in the bio if you want to go check it out. I do try and do like Whip Wednesdays every now and again, or just like share random videos about knitting, and then Instagram I do try and just post my finished objects and little stories and share little funny videos that other people have posted and things like that. So I don't know, if it interests you, you could give me a follow. Or yeah, I also forgot to say, please subscribe if you haven't. I am absolutely buzzing because I have hit 100 subscribers on YouTube now, so yeah, it's very exciting. That's what I was aiming for a little while there. I think I'm on like maybe 103 subscribers now, so onwards and upwards. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching to the end, and I will see you in the next video hopefully. Love you, bye. Mwah.